a nice, very little trash icon that doesn't do anything yet. First of all, that thing is tiny. Let's fix that. That's ridiculous. So that's in note form, so that's probably in form CSS. Here's a rule for it. This is clearly what was supposed to affect that. Note form button I.fa. Well, it's not FA anymore, is it? We're using font awesome 5, and it's actually an SVG in there. So what if we just say note form button? It's the only button on the form, so maybe that's good enough. Yep, okay, that made it nice and big. I also kind of feel like it should change a little bit when you hover over it. So let's just do note form button : hover, color black. So we'll just go from this kind of medium gray to black. All right, I feel good about that. Now, what's it need to do? What'd you make your button do? Yeah.
Before that, like in that button, like it doesn't change from a mouse to like a finger.
Which one doesn't?
The delete button.
The delete button. Yeah. I hadn't decided whether I felt like it should. I don't know. It's not a link. This almost feels like a link. I don't know. Maybe it does. I mean, maybe that does feel a little weird, I guess. So if we want to do that, cursor pointer would do that. There we go. I think, yeah, that's probably better. Because buttons generally don't change, but links do. I can't decide, but it's fine to do that, yes. So what does the button actually do? What does it do? Someone who doesn't talk too much. Nunati, how are you doing back there? What's your delete button do? Mm-hmm. Okay, so in main there's a delete note function which does what? Okay, it deletes it from the array, updates state. So that has to happen in main because that's where state is, right? That's where we manage our list of notes, so it has to happen there. Since it has to happen there, that means we need to pass it down to the form as a prop. How does it know which note to delete? I think you said you sent it up as an argument to the method. Could we do it without sending it as an argument? Did anybody not send the note up as an argument? Yeah, what'd you do?
Current note would be set already. So
current note's set already, right? So current note is already in state, and that's whatever's loaded into the form. So you could just delete that. So let's see about that. So in main, let's add a new method called remove note, remove current note. We'll put that just before render. Remove note, or excuse me, remove current note. I want to be clear what this thing does. Remove current note. So we can't just go messing with that array directly. We need a copy of it, right? So just like we did in save note, we'll say const notes equals, and then make a copy of this .state.notes. And then what? How do we know which one to delete? How do we know which one to update? Like this? Could probably just do that again, right? Use find index. Seems legit. So we use that to find the index of the one we're deleting. I suppose we don't need to bother if current note isn't there. But in this case, we're not comparing it to a note that's being passed in as an argument. We're comparing it to this.state.current note, right? So this.state.current note.id. That's with a lowercase c. And so I don't want to call this current note. Let's call this note. So it'll loop over notes. It'll pass each one as note. It'll compare the ID to this.state.current note.id. If it finds it, I will be set. Then what? How do we get it out of the array? That's right. We've done that before. So notes.splice. First argument is the index to start from. That would be I. Second argument is the number of items to remove from the array, just one. If we didn't find that note, what would I be? -1, right? So we could do if I greater than -1. Then we need to update state, which I suppose we don't need to do if there was nothing to delete. So this.setState notes, right? Which is the same thing as that, just the shorthand. What's that get us? Tappity tappity, and another one. Tappity tappity, another. Let's delete the middle one. Oh, yeah, how about the button doesn't do anything. In our React Dev Tools, if we find, let's search for main. There we go, main. So now $R is main. So I can $R.remove current note. And it's gone from the sidebar, but it's still in here, right? So what do we do about that? Set current note back to a blank one. So we've already got something for that, right? This dot reset current note, I think it was called. Reset current note just calls set current note with a blank note. Try that again. Pick this one. Go to React Dev Tools, find main. $R dot remove current note. Boom. Looks good to me. So the method works. So I test that before I bother sending it down as a prop and stuff, because if that's the problem, I want to know. Once I've hooked it up to an event listener and all that stuff, then if it doesn't work, I don't know if I hooked it up wrong or if the function's broken or what. So I test it first. So remove current note, we need to send down as a prop to the form. The form is where the delete button is. So remove current note equals this dot remove current note. And in the form, then that will be passed in as a prop, so we can use our destructuring assignment to remove it, to set a local variable. Remove current note. Here's the delete button. Let's just add an on click there. On click. Let me check something. Notice I actually made this a method without the arrow function. Forgot our new habit. We're going to do assignment property assignment. So there's an arrow function. On click is remove current note. Works. Make sure it works if I have more than one. Yeah, seems legit. Questions? All right, delete notes. Not you. Delete notes.